Is there rubber buildup on that thing?
Oh,
no, the microphone's got rubber buildup on it. It's going to catch fire.
All right, Rodney, calm down.
Oh, my goodness.
Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards. Jamie, how you doing, man?
I'm alive, man. I'm on the right side of the dirt this morning.
Hey, that's better than a lot of people.
It's not even morning.
Nope.
Evening.
Evening.
Right side of the dirt in the evening.
Just going to roll over and eat some dirt?
To celebrate being on top of it, not under it.
That's always.
I didn't know I was going to make it out of mountains of North Carolina.
There was some times up in North Wilkesboro where I didn't think Jamie was coming home.
Oh,
he almost got abducted. It was a heck of a trip. I'm glad he survived it.
What about the fan next to us? You want to try my hot nuts?
Oh, Chris was great, man.
He was a great guy, but he kept trying to give away his hot nuts.
That dude, he could eat. I ain't never seen nobody eat like this guy. He ate a bag of hot nuts, a bag of salted nuts. Then he ate a Lunchable from the lady behind
him.
It was awesome.
She already ate half of it.
While he was eating his Lunchable, he was discussing stopping at Waffle House on the way home to get more food. It was great.
Shatsberry Farm Springs, too.
Not Shatberry.
Shatberry's got good food.
Shatty something.
Shatty Springs.
Yeah. Shatty Spring, which was closed, by the way.
It's for sale.
We looked into the Shatty Springs. We don't know that it had bad food or good food. Chris said it was good food, so we're going to take his word and check it out. But Shatty Springs was temporarily closed and for sale.
$995,000.
That one review, though, on it said it tastes like shat, so.
Yeah, it tastes like the name, Shatsberry.
Not Shatsberry, Shatty.
Dingleberry?
Shatty Springs.
The Dingleberry Inn?
Man.
Did you read any reviews on the hotel there at Shrewsbury Shat?
They had a hotel at Shatty Springs?
I don't know.
No, I didn't read it. I read the reviews on the restaurant. That's why I said the only review I remembered reading was shat. Tastes like shat.
I don't think there was 30 minutes that went by where we didn't have something new and interesting happen to us.
No, it was great. We had a great time at North Wilkesboro. I did, at least.
Oh, it was awesome.
Hey, last week they announced Bubba Wallace is going to drive the 45 car the remainder of the season for the Owners' Championship points. Kurt Busch does come back. He will drive the 23 car.
It's weird.
It is just really weird. I
understand they got owners' points and they got championship points. It's just weird.
This is something you would see like Cody Ware doing. You know, we're going to trade. I'm going to drive the 15 this week, and Yaley's going to drive the 51.
So when I crash that one, you'll be confused.
Then they won't know who's wrecking.
Was he running into a ghost? Didn't he scrape the wall like 3-4 times there in Darlington?
Cody Ware looked like a drunk hillbilly out there, man. He just, every time they showed him, I was like, look, they're showing a replay of his wreck 30 minutes ago. Nope. This is a new one.
I kept going, same wreck. Hold it. No, what's he doing?
Same wall, different wreck.
I can't handle the tip of the egg. I can't do it.
It's the skinny part that messes him up.
The small little tip of the egg just throws me off. My tape lines on the steering wheel get confusing.
So talking about North Wilkesboro, when you walk into that place, you can just feel the history. Like you're walking in, you see the old North Wilkesboro sign painted.
Winston Cup faded.
It is just. Even with the fade going on, man, it's just so historic looking. I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, you'd walk in under the concession area with the suites above you, and you just see like the metal. The wood's gone. There's no more suites up there, but there's metal.
Well, part of it, the roof's gone.
Down at the end of the front straightaway, if you look up, the whole top part was gone.
You mean the front downhill?
Yeah. That's the other thing, man. The track, the way it's uphill and downhill, the elevation change.
It's kind of like a road course, isn't it?
Dude, watching them go in turn one. It's like they throw it in turn one and get sideways. It was awesome. I really enjoyed the racing there. I mean, it was it was good racing. It wasn't a lot of beating and banging, but it was good, just good hard racing. But to me, to see the cars go in there sideways coming in turn one, it was
They would exit sideways too.
yeah, it was like they would come in sideways, straighten it up mid-turn, and then slide it off into turns two.
And gun it going up the hill.
And then they do it all over again in turn 3 and 4. It was really neat to watch. It was a lot of good racing. I don't guess you brought your Pepsi with you. I don't see it anywhere.
Oh man, I forgot. I really don't like Pepsi.
So if you remember on last week's show, we had a little bet going. I said Dale Jr. was going to finish I said top 5. Jamie gave me the top 10. He took 11th through 20th. Dale Jr. never ran outside of the top 10 all night.
I thought he was 11th once.
That was wishful thinking.
I was watching him.
You were thinking about that Pepsi, praying he was in 11th.
Ugh, you sure he won in 11th once?
Well, either way, he finished 3rd at the end of the night. So,
What sucked is I was rooting for him.
I don't know why you bet against the guy.
It wasn't really a bet against. I figured, he hadn't driven a modified in a while.
Doesn't matter.
Or whatever he was driving. Was it modified or was it a late model?
It's a late model.
I get confused once you get past Truck Series, headed down.
There was the modified late model stock series, then there was the late model stock series, then the limited late model stock series, then the late model limited stock. What was the one with
all the Camaros and Monte Carlos from the 80s?
That was fun. I think that's limited, maybe.
Did you notice there was that one with his numbers way in the back?
Oh, that moved his number backwards instead of forward?
Yeah, but after
Stupid.
Each night he raced, he would go for a pit stall and they take his hood off.
Maybe that made the car faster.
Maybe.
There was one car that couldn't stop spinning out. Or couldn't even get started. That first race.
Wasn't that the number 2?
17.
17?
The 34 is the one you're talking about with the number moved all the way to the back.
Yeah.
You had the 15 that was painted like the Wrangler Dale Earnhardt Sr. car. He was fast. He just couldn't stay out of the wall. Kept backing it into the wall.
No, it was a black. I mean, the one thing was everyone there was there for a good cause. So, even if your car was putting and you finished last every time, you were there.
Yeah, it was good racing. I enjoyed it.
And everybody can say, I raced against Dale Jr.
Yeah, I mean, Dale Jr. played a big part in the success of this whole racetrack revival thing. So without Junior, you wouldn't have what you had Wednesday night. I mean, there was 20,000 plus people, a sold out crowd, standing room only.
Might have been a little more than 20,000. I thought there was about 1,000 there in turn 2, standing.
That's what I'm saying. So they said there was 20,000 plus. I don't know what plus means, plus or minus. I mean, 20,000 plus, so it's not negative, it's positive. And my English ain't the best, but I'm thinking maybe an extra 1,000 would be plus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my math.
I can do averages and
percentages,
but when you get that complicated.
It's 36 cars. One's guaranteed to not finish on the lead lap. Who is it?
That slow one.
Cody.
Cody wasn't there. The biggest disappointment, I would have thought. Actually, did you see there were a lot of people there? And I said I thought more drivers should support them, but I saw a video on YouTube of Kurt Busch being there.
Yeah, Corey LaJoie was there.
There were a lot of people there.
Rodney Childers, I saw some stuff he posted. He was there.
Who else was there?
Caitlin Vincey apparently was sitting like 4 sections to the left of us because she was posting video almost directly in front of where we were sitting at. So she was right next to us over there in the red Tide sludge we had going on.
That was a little... My ankle still hurts from that crap.
Yeah, so, they opened up this bleachers in turns 1 and 2. Apparently, that was the first weekend or week they were open was this week.
They didn't pressure wash them.
No. They went down and wiped the seats off, but they didn't pressure wash the sludge like the mold mildew. They didn't wash that off.
And it was red, like red Tide in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, yeah, it was straight up ruin your khaki shorts red.
And it was like 90 90 degrees plus during the day, and in the evening it got down to high 50s, and that created condensation.
Well, then it rained
on the red sludge.
It rained that afternoon, so that wet it. And then the condensation, you could watch the dew. When the dew set in, you just changed the whole color of it. It was a little sketchy.
There was some fog coming in. We couldn't see turns 3 and 4 a couple times.
Yeah, I don't think that was fog, though. I think that was probably like meth smoke coming out of the meth shacks in the hills of Wilkes County.
It could have been.
They said Wilkes County was the home of moonshining in North Carolina. Well, it's definitely not the home of moonshine. It is the home of meth now, because we saw the Kung Fu Meth Cowboy at the Walmart out front.
Yeah, he looked like Elvis practicing some
karate.
He was a big boy doing some karate.
He must be new to the meth. He hasn't lost all the weight yet, so.
You would think the karate he would have lost, but he was doing that karate right there on the corner of the main road. Just
We were staying at the Holiday Inn, which is right beside the CIA's building, or as they like to call it, Lowe's Home Improvement.
With weird security on the fences, on every corner of the building. Not a lot of cars there.
According to Google Maps, it said it was a Lowe's Home Improvement, but we looked. There's no Lowe's store there.
And it had a really high-rated coffee shop that we couldn't get into.
Yeah, the only thing Lowe's we saw was the Lowe's grocery store with a bar inside of it. Now, hey, here in Georgia, that's not normal. We don't have wine and beer bars inside of our grocery stores.
I thought that was kind of cool, except for Karen there.
Karen was our...
she followed us to our restaurant.
Our chain restaurant bar hopper.
We went to, what was the chain one we went to? What was that, Applebee's?
Applebee's first.
20 minutes, they hadn't even asked us what we wanted to drink, so we just got up, went across the street to something called Coach's.
Which wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad at all, but as we were sitting there, who was it that was hitting on Karen?
Justin.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, I'm Justin. What's your name?" I never heard her say.
Well, we're going to call her Karen.
And we're calling her Karen. But I don't think she answered. It must not have been her type of man. Because she was, 5 minutes behind us going to Coach's?
Oh, yeah. I think she had a schedule. I think she does that every day.
And then she was walking into the wine bar as we were leaving that Lowe's grocery store, which is weird.
She didn't stay anywhere long. It's like one or two. She probably has a drink, goes to the bathroom, slides out the back door, ran across the highway to the next restaurant, has a beer, goes to the bathroom, slides out the back door, runs to the grocery store, has another beer.
I wonder where she goes after Lowe's grocery store.
She goes back. She's not dipping out on her tabs.
She's going back to Applebee's?
Yeah,
afterwards?
She's running like a pub crawl. She's doing a North Wilkesboro pub crawl. You go Lowe's grocery store.
You think she's there till she finds a mate?
I think there's a gas station she's probably hitting. Probably the 24-hour coffee place that closes at night.
Did you hear that weird chortle she was making? Was that a mating call?
I don't know what that was.
At Applebee's, I was kind of confused. I was like, that's weird. Then at Coach's, she came in. I heard it again. I was like, is that Karen making that noise?
We had the...
And then at Lowe's, which was I like Lowe's, man. It was a nice looking grocery store, but she comes in, sits down. There was no one else at the bar there, and she went, and then I knew it was Karen making them noises.
I think that's the meth.
You think
she hits the pipe before she sits down?
She came from Shady Springs?
Oh, yeah.
That's where she works, huh?
She's been at the Hillbilly Hideaway.
Yeah.
She done got her ribs at the Hillbilly Hideaway. I'm not saying the ribs at the Hillbilly Hideaway are bad. I don't really know. I don't know that I would name my restaurant the Hillbilly Hideaway.
At Shady Springs.
No, the Shady Springs is for
it's two different restaurants, wasn't it?
Hillbilly Hideaway was not on the Food Network. Definitely not on the Food Channel. It was not featured on the Discovery Channel, but it apparently has the best ribs in town.
Well, why was it called Shady Springs?
Because Mr.
I shat my spring.
Mr. Shaddy found it and it cured him.
And he shat a spring. I just shat my spring, then it cured me of leprosy.
Oh, check it out. So we stopped to get gas. We're coasting in the Prius, trying to make it on our last quarter tank of gas. Stop at the only gas.
We're down to 3/4 of a gallon.
Yeah, we was about to be on fumes.
We went all over the place on that tank, but we were in the mountains.
The only gas station around is a 76 gas station. We pull in what I would refer to as the 76 gas station serial killer. I go in, me and John, my son, we go in,
I'm pumping gas.
we get a sun drop because they're sponsoring Dale Jr.
Yeah.
We're in sun drop country. We might as well partake and have us a sun drop. So we go in, get a sun drop. We come out. Jamie passed us at the door. He goes on in.
I said, I'm getting me a sun drop.
I'll let Jamie tell the rest of it.
Well, I pulled up from the pump because there weren't a lot of pumps there in the mountains. Didn't want to hog the pump while I was getting my sun drop. And I'm going in. Did that weird lady follow you guys out? Because she was outside.
Well, she was smoking a cigarette. Remember, her husband was mad, or the guy.
I don't know what he was.
The guy that worked it was angry because I was in there disrupting what he was doing. As he said, those dang customers.
I guess he didn't like customers. So I went in and got my sun drop. I bought me a bag of chips to take the race that night. Well, she held the door open for me. She was about my age, so the story is age appropriate. So I get my sun drop. I go to the counter. It was a tall counter, man. I swear it came up to my shoulders. And I'm just sitting there. She's talking to this big heavyset dude behind the counter. He wasn't really behind the counter. He was like around the corner.
They had a computer.
Yeah.
It's the first one they'd seen.
Probably. First one.
They didn't have internet.
In the hollow.
Yeah. They was playing solitaire.
And she said, hey, I need the scan gun. And she grabbed it from him. And I'm just sitting there with my hands on my wallet on the counter. And she looks right at me. She goes, you married? And she's looking right at my wedding band. And I said, yes. That's too bad. That's a shame. If your wife were to leave you, is she going to take all your money? I said, at least half. That ain't too bad. I'm getting a little suspicious. Then she goes, I like you. I said, hey, can I pay for my sun drop?
She said, you got a job?
Yeah, she said, you got a job? I said, yep. That's nice. I said, I got to go. My friend's waiting for me out in the car.
Yeah, I think she was going to kill you.
I think so, too.
Her and her husband were going to kill you, burn the car. I guess they would have killed us. I think that's what turned them off.
Fry my skin and call it pork rinds.
Yeah. That's what settled. That's what's ruined the whole thing. Me and John out in the car waiting on you. And
well, I wouldn't have gone anywhere with her.
We can't keep this guy. I don't think they were giving you an option.
She had.
They were going to hide your car. You were disappearing in the mountains of Wilkes County, North Carolina for the rest of your life. Could have been an alien.
I mean, her head was as big as a horse when you go from her chin to the top of her head.
You think she was an alien?
I think she was an alien.
I think aliens exist.
I do too. In Wilkes County, I thought I saw one in the mountains.
I sent you that video I took from North Carolina. Oh. They look like aliens.
Well, I mean,
either that or it was Santa Claus.
She didn't get us because
we're still here.
I wasn't desperate.
Yeah, but we Googled it, and there's been 76. There's been murders at a 76 gas station. Now, it didn't say it was in Wilkes County, and it didn't say it was that 76 gas station.
I think they might be slick enough not to get caught. Were we in Wilkes County or were you in the next county?
I think we was on the fringe.
Well,
on the outskirts.
I ain't going no 76 again.
You almost got.
That was creepy.
Almost got killed at the 76.
I mean, I've had weird people come up to me and I've pulled a gun. I just didn't know what to do in that situation.
What else we do? We went to Richard Childress Museum.
That was cool. We went to Dale Jr.'s shop.
Yep, stopped by Junior Motorsports. We drove by a lot of shops. Colleague. Didn't look like that.
Kyle Busch.
Had a whole lot going. Yeah, Kyle Busch. They look closed. They must have been over at RCR.
Casey Kane Racing.
Martin Truex Jr. Racing.
Yeah, which we didn't know existed.
No. All they do is take deliveries.
They're on the same road going down. Well, no. There's Martin Truex, Casey Kane, and there's Junior Motorsports.
You think Dale Jr. owns all that property and rents it out to those guys?
I don't know.
I'm sure that's where
keeps talking about his property manager.
That's where DBC's probably at too. Where they record at.
How are we going to approach that cowboy in front of me?
We can't leave him out, can we?
No. I mean,
He had the prettiest hair of anybody I've ever seen. I didn't know it was a
from
he.
behind. It looked like a female.
I thought it was a woman.
He had seersucker suit pants on.
They couldn't have got any tighter.
Blue and white stripes.
Yes. Honestly, and he had rose petal boots.
Yeah. White shirt.
Dress shirt at that.
And
long sleeve dress
I thought
shirt.
it was a chick for like the first 2 races.
I did too.
And then when Dale Jr. hopped in his Sundrop car,
he broke out his camcorder.
And he had a hairy bear claw in his hands. And I looked at your son and went, what? And he looked at me and went, what? Then I actually bent over and looked at the cowboy's face. And that was one hell of a stash.
The biggest mustache I've ever seen in my life. 3-inch long mustache.
He could sweep the floor with that thing.
Tom Selleck ain't got nothing on this guy's mustache.
Nothing.
I mean, this dude had a mustache like nothing. I've never even seen nothing to compare it to.
I mean, I think he dropped out of the TV show Yellowstone. Maybe they took him to the train station, but they didn't. You know?
So it looked like the dude looked fake, okay? He didn't even look like a legit.
So out of place there.
It did not look like a legit person you would find at North Wilkesboro Speedway whatsoever. No. Honestly, at first I saw him, I'm like, maybe that's like Ryan Blaney in disguise. You know, maybe it's another.
That was a 10-gallon hat, too, dude. It was bigger than him.
That's what I mean. It looks so fake. Nothing about this guy looked real. His mustache looked too fake, too huge to be real. He was way too hairy.
I mean, for like 2 hours, I'm thinking that is that girl, because I grew up rurally, from the 4-H that loves horses.
Beautiful hair. Like,
amazing hair. Oh, my goodness.
Perfect. Definitely uses a conditioner. And
I mean,
bald,
down to his butt, dude.
Long, too. Yeah. That's what I mean.
What the heck?
Nothing looked real. And then he busted out that handheld camcorder.
That bear claw. I was like, what the
1997.
Heck? Oh, yeah. They had a camcorder from the 80s or something,
It's like the mini tape camcorder from 1997. It was hilarious.
I mean, look, I think later we're like, he's with his partner. I'm cool with that, but it just was, for 2 hours, I was sure it was 4-H horse girl.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
No. And so it was just shocking.
Like I said, he didn't look like, he just stood out so much, it just didn't look legit.
I mean, look at that Dale Earnhardt picture right there. It was more than that.
Oh, yeah. Dale Earnhardt he made Dale Earnhardt look like he didn't have a mustache.
He was in the Stash Hall of Fame.
If there is one, he's definitely in there. Who's the other dude, the other actor with the mustache? Played on Tombstone guy. Played on the show The Ranch. Cowboy. You ever seen the show The Ranch?
Oh, yeah, that old dude.
That's what I'm talking about, that guy.
He used to be the beef. Beef is where it's at. What was his name?
I don't know. So I asked you.
Dang it.
Oh, well.
Yeah, well.
Isn't
that the show where they killed off his boy because he said something and they canceled him?
Yeah, Rooster
Cogburn.
Yeah,
no, that's a different movie.
I don't even know what you're talking about. All right, Darlington, was it a good race?
What about Chris's and his hot nuts?
We already talked about Chris.
I know, but I just like saying hot nuts.
I liked Chris, man. So
Chris was awesome.
He told me like 4 or 5 times. He's like, I probably talked too much. And I mean, he talked a lot, but I don't think it was too much. I thought he was a cool guy.
Nah, he was cool.
I mean, he had a lot in common with him.
He was a cool dude, man.
They were from Hickory, right?
Yeah, Hickory. He and his brother-in-law. That says something when you can be friends with your brother-in-law.
That says a lot.
Yep. So you know he's a good guy.
Seemed like
or his brother-in-law is. One of them.
And he had hot nuts.
He did have hot nuts.
I finally tried his hot nuts.
Brad liked his hot nuts.
They weren't bad.
What were they, Hampton Farms hot nuts?
I have no idea. I didn't look at the brand.
They were hot nuts in the bag. Boy, that sounds horrible.
That sounds even worse.
Wow. Can't get a girl pregnant with your hot nuts in the bag.
And then he had salty nuts. I didn't try the
He did have salty. He ate a lot of nuts, Chris did. All right.
All
Well,
right. Was Darlington a good race? According to the Jeff Gluck poll, after 3,845 votes, 94% of those votes said yes, it was. The other 6% said no. On a scale of 1 to 10, Jamie, I'm going to give it a 6. What are you going to give it, sir?
I was at a 7. I didn't think it was that great. The only reason it's a 7 was stage 3.
See, I put 6 down before stage 3 was even over. Was my initial, my midway reaction. I had a 6. I was going to bump it up for stage 3 just because of all the drama.
There was definitely a lot of drama.
Yeah, but there wasn't a lot of passing. So
No.
even the Xfinity race the night before, Noah Gragson won that. But the best part of the Xfinity race was
The last stage.
the last stage. So I don't know. I thought the Xfinity race was good. Noah Gragson won it, bouncing off the wall, going into turn, what was that, 3?
Yeah.
Creed went into the wall and going to video game style it all the way around. Noah Gragson bounced off the wall. Kyle Larson was going to slide around the wall too because he had a tire going down. I mean, it looked insane watching the last lap at the Xfinity race, but like I said, that made the whole race worth it on the Xfinity race.
I mean, I would say they were both good. I wouldn't say great. 94 is a great, man. Be honest with you.
I think we've had a lot of 90% races this year. I was reading from Jeff on Twitter. He was talking about we've had quite a few races in the 90 percentile this year.
We only need 2 more winners, and we tie the 2001. They had 19 winners back in 2001.
Did they really?
Yep.
I thought it was just 1961 was the last time we had 17.
Nope.
You sure?
Backseat drivers.
I don't think they're right.
Yesterday.
They're wrong.
They said we got, I forget how many winners now.
We did.
17 winners.
Yeah. We've had 17.
19 was a record.
No way. That's wrong.
Well, let's see. Let's go to Master Google here.
I'm telling you it's wrong.
Google? You're telling me Google's wrong? Google's never wrong.
Google's always wrong. Google does nothing but spy on you and report all your searches to the NSA.
Have you noticed?
Selling Google's
We
good
can
for
talk something on this show, and just as long as we have our phones near us,
it's going to pop up as an ad
next
later.
morning you put up YouTube.
Oh,
What we talked about is
yeah.
what they're suggesting.
I told you.
Videos for you.
I told you. They're listening
That's
to
tough,
everything you
man.
do. And then not only are they listening to what you do, they're sharing it with everybody else. The FBI, the CIA, the NSA, Homeland Security,
I think
Border
Google's a
Patrol,
bigger threat
ICE,
to us than all those abbreviations.
the IRS, NASA, SpaceX, ex-girlfriends, all of them.
I don't know, man. It says 19.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I might be wrong. I was just going to stand firm on my belief.
That's racing reference.
Yeah, they might get one right every once in a while.
You think?
Yeah. Eric Jones holds on to win the Southern 500. That is his second Southern 500 win and the first win for Petty GMS. I think it's more GMS, don't you? I think Petty's just like a namesake.
I think they pay him a fee.
Yeah, to use his name.
Yeah.
I think they own the company, though.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I'm saying.
GMS Racing with Petty.
Petty said, all right, keep my name first. Give me
Kinda
$1
like-
million a year. It's
Kind of
all
like
yours.
McGriff the Crime Dog.
Yeah.
He's just a mascot.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
He's good at it.
how much you think they pay Richard to be the mascot?
$1 million.
A year?
Yeah.
How
What
much
do you think he charges to get into his museum? It's too
I don't
far
know.
away for us. to
Yeah,
go.
we were going to go there too, but that's another hour out. Then we wouldn't have made it to Mooresville.
No, yeah.
Remember that?
We went
Valley
to
Fork?
Welcome and then
Mooresville.
had a weird name.
Mooresville.
Was it Mooresville?
Yeah.
No, we went to some other town too.
Went to Welcome.
There was a lot of little towns between Welcome and
Yeah.
Mooresville, though.
And it was all back roads
Yeah,
because the
it
highways
wasn't-
are so screwed up.
It wasn't straight there.
Like
That's for
driving
dang
through
sure.
Atlanta. Denny Hamlin said the only way he could have beat Eric Jones would be to wreck him.
Yeah, I agree.
There was no wrecking. There was no passing all race, so we all knew. I mean, that's how Kyle Busch got by Sheldon. I mean, not Kyle Busch. Kyle Larson got
There
by
was
Sheldon
one
Creed
point I thought Denny got close enough
to hit him.
and then he backed off. Got like within a foot or two.
Well, didn't he say he didn't want to do it that way?
Well, that was good for him because we know some other drivers with dumb names that
Like
drive
Ross
Fords
Chastain?
that would have done it. Yeah.
Like Logano.
I didn't want to.
Joey Logano drove like a douchebag all day yesterday. That's the only thing I can't. Or there's a lot of things I can't stand about Joey Logano, but the dude off the track. I watched that race for the championship thing. Did you watch that?
I haven't watched it yet.
Super show.
Didn't he get a
Super good
divorce
show.
over that?
No,
Dang it.
no.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
He had when his wife calls, it says her name pops up on his phone. It says "My hot ass wife." It's pretty cool. I don't want to like Joey, but because of the show, I kind of felt I did for a second. And then they show a clip of him laughing on the show. It's like,
oh, jeez.
in case you're starting to like Joey Logano, we're going to throw this clip in there to annoy you. And it's that fake Joey Logano weasel horse laugh he has. I hate it, man.
Like a hyena.
I hate that. So,
But you know what? I think he's good in the booth.
Joey?
Yeah, I think he's good.
I don't even like him in the booth. We have other
I
options.
don't think he's that bad.
We got Kevin and Kurt. Put them in the booth. I'd rather have them than Joey. I don't want to start liking Joey. I just don't.
You don't have to like him.
Well, then I don't want him in the booth because then I have to hear him all the time. Could you imagine having to listen to Danica in the booth all the time?
Well, really, I think Kurt Busch needs to be in the booth. He's really, really, really good.
Oh, Kurt's great in the booth.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that's where we see Kurt next year?
Maybe.
I think the chances...
Works during the week at the team and then on the weekend calls the race.
I think Kurt goes to the booth next year.
With Fox.
I think it's 50-50 right now. I think the chances of him going to the Fox booth in 2023 are just as good as him
He'd
going
make it better.
back to 2311.
Him and Clint and Mike Joy.
He might outdo Clint. And Kevin Harvick will replace Clint the year after.
Yeah, Kevin doesn't seem very happy after his little
Yeah. Kevin Harvick.
fire starter.
They might not want Kevin Harvick in the booth.
Well, you saw a deletion of Rodney Childress's videos and stuff. His
Not
tweets.
the video, his tweet. So Rodney calls out NASCAR saying they mandate these openings to be 75% open and mandate they use blah, 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 blah. And then we had these fires. And it's because NASCAR is making them do something. And in NASCAR, you hear nothing from them.
Don't you wish they would speak up and say, we're trying this and this and this to make it better?
Well, that's kind of what...
They're not saying a dang thing.
That's what Larry McReynolds said on
respond.
Sirius XM. Just say something because not saying anything is not a good look. I mean, now you've pissed off the fans. And now you've pissed off the drivers.
We haven't seen anyone die in a car since 2001 in Cup Series.
Yeah, and I don't want to start now.
No, there's no point.
These drivers are complaining.
Right, we need to listen to them.
They're saying that. So I heard it on DBC. They're saying when the wreck's hard enough, the car absorbs the impact. But if the wreck's not to the point of being hard enough for the car to absorb it, the driver ends up absorbing the impact. That's why these softer hits, like the one Kurt took at Pocono, or Bubba's taking some softer hits you're having at Martinsville, they're hurting these guys a lot more than hits they're taking at Talladega.
Well, we know there's a solution because the last generation seemed to take wrecks better.
Well, you know,
and
how many years did we work on that last gen car?
And how many fires did we have?
But not as many as we're having this year.
I mean, we saw fires at the 600 in Charlotte.
Well, the main one we saw, that Larson fire, was a fuel thing. That was the fuel catching on fire from the
So
spark.
we got another problem.
Well, they spilled the fuel. That ain't a problem.
Yeah, I threw that match too. It didn't help. Well, no, that was Logano's car.
You were trying to light it on fire.
Yeah.
Burn! Burn!
His crew chief had the gasoline.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but maybe taken out of the race. I mean, I'm okay with that.
No, man, I wish nothing to happen to even Logano.
Yeah, but Kevin Harvick, what happened to him is unacceptable, in my opinion. I mean, the dude
he did take 2 laps on fire. What's that all about?
Well, he's running around racing in the middle of the race. It's not a mechanical failure. His engine's fine. And he just all of a sudden, poof, catches on fire.
Well, maybe they need some fire suppression nozzles in the wheel wells. Just
maybe. Maybe we do.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be out there and you'll see a puff of smoke come out poof, every time the car catches
Put
on
a
fire.
button on the steering wheel. Once your spotter goes, door bumper, you're on fire. You just hit that nozzle. Just
Just hit it once, fire suppression, puts out the fire.
and then you change out the canister the next pit stop.
Yeah, but then Kevin Harvick, he's on fire. He's getting out of the car in the grass. He's out of the car in the grass,
see
jumping
Bubba?
the wall before the.
You just see Bubba jump
the
out of
yellow
the truck
goes over.
without a fire extinguisher and run up to the car like, what's going on, Durr?
Oh, that was Daryl.
Oh, I forgot my fire extinguisher. I know I'm 397 pounds. Could you bring that to me? This thing's on fire, guys. It's on fire.
Then they just stood there and looked at it like
Like they're going to pull out marshmallows and start roasting them.
do y'all know that's a fire, right? Like, I think they were looking for Kevin. They're like, hey, there ain't nobody in this car over here,
He
y'all.
done evaporated.
Yeah, that's South Carolina, man.
Woo, South Carolina's a weird place.
Go
You think
Gamecocks.
Wilkesboro's weird?
Ooh, yeah, definitely.
From where we live, you got to go through South Carolina.
to get to Wilkesboro. Yeah, we don't stop in South Carolina at all. It's
One
just
place
not a
worth
place
of
I wanna
crap
stop
is
in.
South of Myrtle
So
Beach
what-
and north of Myrtle Beach.
Kevin Harvick gets out of the car, says NASCAR makes him use a bunch of crappy parts, calls him a piece of crap. NASCAR then makes Rodney remove his post. Well,
In our opinion,
in our opinion, we don't know why Rodney moved it, but Rodney's always been outspoken. So it was either NASCAR called Tony and Tony made Rodney move it. NASCAR called
Tony
Rodney.
probably would have told him no. They had to call.
Rodney.
Yeah.
They probably threatened him. Remove it or we're fining you. I could see it.
Mr. Haas,
But NASCAR
we
needs
got a problem.
It kind of goes back to what you were just saying. Say something. Tell us what the heck you're doing. I mean, are you doing anything? Does obviously the safety of these drivers matters to NASCAR. I don't think they don't care. But you have these drivers are risking their life every week to make millions of dollars for NASCAR to sit in the booth and make billions of dollars. So do something about the safety equipment. Fix the problem. Tell me what you're doing. Let me know you're doing something.
I kind of understand the silence.
How? Silence is never good.
Well-
it's only golden at the movie theaters.
I had an outer body experience. I went to the bathroom, and so I don't wake up my wife. I got the floor plan memorized. I get out of
Smells
bed,
so bad his body left him.
go around the bed, walk down past the bed into the master bathroom. I got to go past the master 2 sinks and the walk-in closet and hang a left to go to the little 8x10 toilet area that has its own door. So I can close the door, turn the lights on, and go to the bathroom. So I do that. I take care of my business, tangle. I walk to the sink, I turn the lights off and the fan. The fan just comes on with the lights. Don't think it was a deuce. It wasn't. I don't deuce while I'm sleeping. So I go to the sink, my sink, wash my hands in the dark because I got it memorized. I even got the soap. Did 2 pumps of soap. Washed my hands. The toilet lately the flapper hasn't been closing all the way.
Yeah.
So I stood there and wait till the tank got full and shut off. I thought, well, that's good. I don't got to go wiggle the handle. Crawled into bed.
I'd have just left it run.
But when I get done with the sink, my hair stands up on end. There's no lights on. And I just get the heebie-jeebies. Don't know why. Go back to bed and I lay down. I didn't close the bathroom door and I can see the mirror. The mirror is the size of 2 sinks with a lot of counter space. And I see 2 hands come out and grab the sides of the mirror, which didn't make any sense. It's like 20 feet long. Pull himself out. And it was me. I came out of the mirror. And he slithered down on the countertop and got on the floor, and I didn't see him at all. But I sensed he was coming to me. And I was freaking out. So I put a pillow over my head and fell asleep. I never saw him. But I felt like he was right there.
Maybe you were dreaming.
And the whole time he was silent like NASCAR. Was that NASCAR me?
Probably.
I don't know.
I think you were dreaming.
Freaked me out.
Might have been some of that water you drank up in Wilkes County.
There was no booze. That
I think maybe
dewdrop,
maybe
sun drop.
alien head lady at the 76.
She put a curse on me.
I think she roofied you, and it was like slow release roofie.
She knew you were getting a sun drop. So once she saw you guys got the sun
She
drop,
went roofied
she
the
went
next
and
one.
roofied the next one in line.
Yeah, and it was like time delay release, so it's slow release, but it was extra slow release, so it hit you 3 days later.
I'm still puzzled that I crawled out. I thought in a time continuum you couldn't see yourself. Does that mean I'm dying soon? I saw me.
Maybe your flux capacitor was going bad.
Ooh, could be.
Hey, talk about going bad. Martin Truex Jr. had his flux capacitor go bad and his water pump belt all at the same time. Car overheated while he was leading.
I got a theory on that one too, and it has nothing to do with my doppelganger crawling out of the mirror. When your bearings go on the water pump, the shaft starts wiggling. And that's when you'll throw a belt.
When your shaft wiggles, you'll throw a belt.
Because your ball bearings fell out.
Your balls fall out.
Your ball bearings fall out.
Your shaft wiggles.
Your shaft wiggles.
And your belt throws.
And your belt throws. And then you're done.
He overheated.
Yeah.
And then Kyle Busch takes the lead.
I ain't got a theory on that one.
And he overheats too and blows the motor. According to Bob Pockris, you know, Bob usually knows all. Kyle Busch.
He knows all Kyle Busch or just all of all?
All of all.
Oh, okay.
He's saying Kyle probably just missed a shift.
And that causes your car to blow up?
I'm thinking that's like NASCAR come out and
That's
said,
BS.
hey, Bob, tell everybody he missed a shift. They're under friggin' caution.
I've missed a shift
Kyle
before.
didn't miss a shift under caution. Kyle's not even shifting under caution.
I've missed a shift before my car didn't blow up.
The car just broke.
Uh-huh.
Just like NASCAR told the reporters or the media not to interview any driver involved in the magic wreck at Daytona when the rain just came out of nowhere. They told the media not to interview those drivers right away because they wanted to give them some time to cool down, cool off.
Well,
I think NASCAR told Bob, Kyle missed a shift, Bob.
I got
And
a
Bob
theory
rolled
about
with it.
NASCAR.
They don't want to look bad.
The Frances need to sell it publicly, list it on the stock exchange, and back out. Just cash it in, get their billions, and let it run as a public company.
Well, if they do that,
I don't work for them. I can say this out loud.
as a public company, if this ran as a public company, then you'd have your drivers like Cody Ware, who probably wouldn't be as successful because their value would go down.
How
right?
would their value go down?
I'm
They
just
got
saying,
a charter.
If it's the public, if it's owned by shareholders, who's going to invest their money in a drunk 98-year-old Mr. Magoo who bounces off the wall every 3 laps until his dang car breaks?
You're investing in the venue, not the show.
Cody Ware looked like Buckshot Jones on crack Sunday night.
Buckshot could drive like he was on crack, completely sober.
So could Mayfield.
I don't know. Was he sober?
All right, after Darlington, the bottom 4 from the champion or in the standings currently are Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, Austin Dillon, and Chase Briscoe.
Chase Brisket. That's awesome.
I got Brisket on my mind.
And we had Kevin Hot Dog.
Any surprise? Kevin Hash Brown.
Jimmy Hamburger.
Jimmy Hamburger. Kevin Hash Brown.
Did you put something on the grill for the holiday?
I did. You smell it in here?
Yeah, you're still thinking about it, aren't you? You have leftovers
I
tonight.
did chicken. I did these 3 big bone-in chicken breasts. I smoked them for like 5 hours on the grill yesterday.
That sounds explicit. Bone-in chicken.
Get your bone in your chicken. Anybody surprise you on those 4?
Nope.
Suarez, Cindric, Dillon, Brisket.
Nope.
Chase Brisket would have done better if Chase Elliott wouldn't have wrecked him. We ain't even talked about Elliott. Elliott looked like an idiot. Wrecked on his own. Elliott looked like...
Dude, what was with that pedo car he had with little baby stuffed toys and stuff? Little
Quinn Huff or whatever his name was.
I don't know, man.
And they had the pedophile car. Pedophile paint scheme.
Well, I wasn't going to say pedophile. I was just going to go pedo and let people fill in the blank.
Oh, well, I think they know what the difference between pedo and pedophile. I think they're filling in the blank already.
What was with that thing?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Didn't it say children's happiness or something? Napa Children's Happiness.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I really wasn't paying attention to the paint scheme whatsoever. Something to do with Children's Hospital, right?
I pointed it out to you. Well, did it say Children's Hospital, those plushy dolls?
I just saw the little drawings of the dog.
I mean, does he go to the park and go, hey, you want to help me find my puppy? I'm missing a puppy.
Come see my car.
Let me tell Mama.
Look at my car.
Don't tell your Mama. We going to look for a puppy. It's okay. I'm Chase Elliott, and I'm looking for a puppy.
Did you see that police officer in
my opinion.
In Cartersville, Georgia, who got arrested for trying to buy sex from an underage girl with White Claws?
See, that's what got me. I read that, and then I saw his plushie toys on the side of his car.
You thought it was a conspiracy together?
Yeah, I was like, man,
Hey, well,
Cartersville ain't too far from Dawsonville.
no.
What's going on?
Cousins.
What's going on up in them hills of Georgia?
All right, well, speaking of hills,
You
we're
think
going.
our hills of Georgia are weirder than the hills of Wilkesboro?
No. There's nothing weirder than the hills of Wilkesboro.
It's pretty weird.
I mean, I ain't trying to say there's ugly people in North Carolina or in North Wilkesboro, but there was a lot of ugly people at that race. Lots of scary looking people.
Man, I'm sure 2 o'clock in the morning, they were looking scarier.
That's probably what it was. So they had a coffee shop there. It was called the 24-Hour Coffee House.
It was closed.
It closed at night. I don't know why. For some reason, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I was thinking I needed a coffee when we were heading back from the racetrack. Well, yeah, could go for some coffee. It's
What
morning.
about the 20 Porta-Johns right next to the grill
man,
that was overfilled and spilling on the ground?
But before we can have a professional series like the Trucks or the Cup or the Xfinity Series go back, they got to get the bathrooms fixed. You can't have Porta-Johns. Not like that.
And you can't put food vendors next to them. Oh, my goodness. It freaked me out.
The dude working the grill is stepping in blue water running out of the bottom of the Porta-John as he's cooking
I was wondering if those hot dogs smelled like
Polish
poopy
sausage.
Blue juice.
Oh, man, it was. You could smell the barbecue and the
blue
blue
juice.
It was horrible.
Yeah, there was something wrong there.
I was telling Chris about it next to me, and he's like, I'm going to go over there and try me one of them sausages.
Man, they look good.
He was talking about eating cow tongue and something about taking cow nuts and wrapping them in a cow's stomach and tying it with
Brain and
blood,
eggs.
putting an egg in there and boiling it, something.
That's why that crazy girl at the 76
Yeah.
freaked me out even more after we left when we heard Chris talking. I was like, she was going to eat some brain.
She was going to kill you.
Tongue.
They were going to kill you, and they were going to burn your Prius in the field out back. Then they was going to laugh because you was in a Prius.
I think they were laughing when we pulled up.
All right, we're going to Kansas next week. There's no hills in Kansas. It's nothing but flat wind and misery.
Well, hold on. We didn't mention about Gordon. He spent the weekend competing in the Porsche Carrera Cup.
Think he stayed in Kansas?
Only when he was in the Cup team.
Where were they racing at?
Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Oh, yeah, you sent me that. That
It was
cool.
his first race. Came in 22nd for the first race and 16th in the second,
How many
which is
cars?
pretty good.
22nd out of what, 23?
I think it was like 32,
24?
32. I mean, he's a natural driver, man. He's what, 50-something now?
I mean, I tried to tell you that about Dale Jr., and you're like, yeah, he's going to finish mid-pack, though. I mean, he's got natural
But I
talent,
looked at his
though.
record when he was at Myrtle Beach and stuff, and
Yeah, but he's got 22
What do you
wins in
have,
the
like,
Cup Series.
2,000
He's got
races and
2
3 wins.
Xfinity championships. He's obviously progressed since his 90s late model days.
Hey, I'm a fan. I just didn't think he had it in him, and he proved me wrong, and I got to drink a dang Pepsi now.
One day, if you ever bring it.
I'll bring it next week.
Obviously, Jeff Gordon's still got some talent left in him, though, because he goes out there with almost zero experience and finishes 22nd and 16th.
Which is top 50%, man.
I like Jeff Gordon. I have a picture I need to put out here.
I like the fact
It's
that he
got
finally
Jeff's autograph.
admitted that he
I don't know where it is.
bought a Porsche.
Oh, he has one?
He's got one. He bought one.
Oh, that was his.
And part of driving that race spec 911
part of his
is
payment.
you got to race once
Oh.
a year. And he's like, well, shoot. If I got to race, I got to race. Let's do it. I mean, they say he's from California, but he really grew up in Indiana.
Is that what they told you when you wanted to buy one?
I didn't go for that one.
Oh.
And that's like $378,000.
That's out of my price range.
I'm banned from buying new ones now anyway. I sold my place in line once and they caught me.
You pissed them off.
Well,
They don't want you back.
nope.
It's because they're a bunch of highfalutin. They don't care about us. What that woman call you at the 24 hours? You peasant. You filthy peasant.
Yep, she did. But there were peasants there and rich people. That was a lady preventing me from getting into the Porsche tent.
That was a lady waiting in line for the tram. She wasn't nobody special.
Oh, that lady was weird.
You peasant.
She and her children.
Well,
Why they get on the tram for with $3 you could get in a private golf cart and get inside? What's her problem? I don't think she had the money she wanted to pretend she had.
I think she was a peasant as well.
Yep.
She was deflecting the attention on you as a peasant versus people noticing her as a peasant.
Well, you know what the biggest con job in the world is?
What?
Us thinking we're middle class when we're really part of the machine and they're just BSing us, dude.
The government machine?
Uh-huh.
It's run by big money.
They make us act like, and they're doing it to us, man. They're controlling us. They're acting, you're middle class. Well, the middle class keeps shrinking. Are you sure you're middle class?
Because they hate middle class. All they want is ultra
Both
wealthy.
parties
and ultra
hate
poor.
the middle class. They keep raping us, dude.
Both parties hate America.
You know, every time I have to send in my taxes
The madder you get,
without using my hands,
the more
my
country you
drawers
sound.
drop and I bend over.
the madder you get, the more country you sound.
That's my mama's side of the family coming out. They're the Southerners.
Is that South Georgia?
Want me to go New Jersey Yankee on you and drop a lot of F-bombs
All
every
right.
other word?
We're racing in Kansas. What hotels do we not want to stay in? No, we don't need an F word, every other F word. What you said?
I don't remember. I don't remember. We do not want to stay in the Travelers Inn in Topeka.
Topeka.
This is our second trip, so we did the four corners of the compass just to say, let's say you're coming west. If you're headed east, go to the track, you're going to end up in Topeka.
Topeka.
And it's the Travelers Inn. Jasper Risher.
You gonna read it with that country accent?
Risher. I am from the middle of nowhere.
South Georgia.
Jasper Risher said after he gave it a 1 out of 5, the place ripped me off. I got there before 8 a.m. They wanted to charge me $50 more at 11 a.m. Then they kicked me and my pregnant girlfriend into the cold.
What?
And we're from, I think he meant where, but
Yeah.
he forgot the H and put were.
He forgot a lot here.
We're from our town. No car got here on bus. I think he's saying he had a car,
Dude, it sounds
and
like
they had to take the bus because his girlfriend
sounds
has
like
to see-
a country song. We're from our town. No car got here on the bus.
I was born in a small town. My girlfriend's baby was conceived in that small town. We got a bus in that small town, and we went to Topeka.
Travelers Inn.
Travelers Inn. Had to see a doctor here. I had a few dollars short for another night, and all 3 of those hotels refused me service. He doesn't mention 3 before. I believe what they did to me was wrong and illegal. I won't stop till they are shut down and put out of business. You think he's got enough bus fare to keep going back and forth to protest his hellhole?
He definitely can't afford a logger.
That's just the first part of my room.
They got kicked out of their town with no car.
Was beyond disgusting. Looked like human feces on the sheet. No pillowcases. Sheets looked dirty. Well, of course they did. There was feces on them. Isn't it? Who would call that clean?
That's usually the first sign to dirtiness is human
That's
feces.
when you check to see if there's toilet paper in the bathroom. When you see a shit stain on your pillowcase.
You know you're not getting good sleep tonight.
Comforter was horribly disgusting, and now I have to make sure I don't have bed bugs in my stuff because it felt like bugs crawling me. These types of places are taking in money and not providing you with a clean, healthy place to stay.
How much money are they taking in, though? We're talking what? $35,
$49
$45?
bucks. $49.
With inflation, yeah, $49.99.
It's probably $29 before COVID.
$49.99. So
I think the health department needs to be involved.
the health department don't give a crap.
They don't, or these places wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
I will not rest until this place is shut down.
You better give up.
Thanks bit.
What?
You know, the thing you put on a drill. A drill bit. He says thanks bit.
Oh, maybe that's a...
Thanks bit, no thank you.
What?
Oh, I think he meant but. He was
Thanks,
really
but-
pissed off.
Thanks,
I think.
but... Just say it like he said. Thanks, but no thank you.
Thanks bit, no thank you.
You say it faster, it sounds right. Thanks, but no thank you.
So thanks bit, like a dog, no thank you. Just
Thanks, but like
come here, no thank you.
Yeah.
They are just as I can't even read his poor English, dude. I got dyslexia and it's really confusing me what he's doing here. All right. This place is the ones next to it. They are just as bad. Okay.
And the ones next to it's what he has to mean.
That's what he
has to mean there.
All these people who have it a good review are full of it. Promise you, if you like that place, you are more dirty than that place. And that most be disgusting. That's M-O-S-T. That most be disgusting. That means more than disgusting. You are lower than disgusting.
This guy's English and math are so bad.
Wow. I thought I didn't pay attention in fourth grade English.
Fourth, this is like second grade.
My goodness. Wow.
It would be a miracle if this guy made it to fourth grade.
Think he cheated in first grade spelling? I think so.
You think
he would pull a gun out and blow his brains out if you said, "What's the past participle there?"
He's just smart enough to know he's stupid. All right, where are we going next?
The guest house of St. Joseph, which is north.
What?
Let's say you're coming from Lincoln or Omaha, Nebraska.
Is that like a church, a Catholic church?
It's a city north of Kansas City.
St. Joseph?
Yep.
That's at the guest house.
You're all tuckered out.
Was this an Airbnb?
Oh, this is the guest house. It's a motel.
Okay.
We thought we would give it a try since it said newly renovated. That means
they don't know when it said that.
They swept the floor and used the vacuum.
They could have put that up in 1963 when it was newly renovated and never re-renovated it again.
Just keep replacing the light bulb and the sign so you can see it's newly
That's it.
Renovated. If this is newly renovated, I would hate to see what it looked like previously.
Probably like it currently looks.
Probably.
All they did was put a new sign up. That was renovation.
I think the county jail, and this is Rochelle Croft. 1 out of 5. I think the county jail probably has cleaner and in better shape bathroom.
Well, how do you know?
Well, she knows.
How do you not know?
She knows.
She thinks so. She thinks, so she's assuming. Now, the county jail might be really clean. Now you're belittling the janitor at the county jail. The county jail janitor might work his butt off to clean those jail cell bathrooms.
You know, when I was in the Volusia County Jail overnight.
Were the bathrooms clean?
Well, the bathroom was in the cell.
That's what I mean. Is it clean?
Well, yeah, because this one dude, he did a little dribble. And this Harley-looking dude.
Cleaned it?
No, he said, clean up your dribble. Get over there, clean it up.
Screamed at him.
We all went, whoo, except for the other Hells Angels. Because it was bike week too, spring break and bike week at the same time.
That doesn't go good. You got college kids and Harley bikers together in one place.
I don't know. We got along at the bars.
My nephew in Colorado, so we're going to get like the electric dance music crowd and put them with the NASCAR crowd.
Now, I don't know if that would work.
I think it'd be cool. You put them in the infield, have their music going during the middle of the race. Why not?
Well, you know, if it sells more
tickets. It
tickets.
could bleed over. Like, you could get new, the hillbillies from
Well, I'd be dancing too.
From Wilkes County. They might come down there and join. And then the EDM might come up and say, hey, it's a pretty good race. All right, where we at?
Well, we're still there. About 3.5 hours into our stay, we lost electricity. And there was something on the wall. I'm not sure if it was ketchup or blood, but it was definitely there. Well, you know what? If you're confused, reach out, lick your index finger, touch it, and put it in your mouth.
Is blood.
Probably dried feces.
Yeah, probably. It's probably the feces off the pillowcase from the other hotel.
So they lost their electricity. They had no TV, no heat, no shower, no nothing.
No crap.
No dog.
Our power's out and the TV don't work.
Which I realize
Who would have thought?
Which I realize is not the hotel's fault, but I went up to the front desk to see about getting a refund. That's because she noticed the feces blood.
I'm just mad.
If it didn't come back in an hour or so, but she said absolutely no refunds. That must be run by the same guy at the Beach House Inn. Probably owns it.
No refund for you.
No refunds! We had been here too long, and this was out of their control. I asked for a partial refund, and she said no. I would have to wait it out. Also, I was told that this happens pretty often, that it's not uncommon. You cannot hang a picture on the wall and throw up a little paint with a new chair in the corner and saying it's newly renovated.
Actually, you can.
There are about 4 or 5 melted spots on our blanket, it looks like. They patched holes in it.
That's from the meth.
I'm not really sure what that's all about.
I'm telling you, when they're cooking their meth on the sheets.
So I'm guessing the electricity came back on because she said the TV volume was in and out. And being so close to the Loves, you hear, H-E-R-E, major truck traffic in the rooms closest to the truck stop. This place is a shithole. And for $85, we should have just stayed in the truck. At least we would have had heat and a TV. The night is still young. It is only 6:30, so I guess we will see how this plays out. We may end up going back to the truck and eating R-A-R-E. I think it's O-U-R, and I suck at English. Eating our $85. But I bet there's going to be a lot of other people who won't stay here because of this review.
I doubt it.
If I were the front desk, I probably would have just did the partial refund and saved myself someone looking at this review and deciding maybe this wasn't the place for them. She's right on that, because it wasn't until the crappy hotel in Daytona wouldn't give a refund that we jumped on there and gave them bad reviews.
Yeah, but it wasn't until that experience that I started reading reviews as in depth as I do now. And this show. I mean, this show has caused me to read reviews. Just like the people listening know, they hear more reviews about hotels than they ever would have before. And I'm hoping that you also read reviews when booking hotels.
Well, you can go to booking.com, Travelocity. Google has tons of reviews, but she says, trust me, it's not the place for you.
Yeah, but here, let me say this.
Right,
I'd read her review right here where she's talking about somebody reading this review and just completely forget everything else she said. Like, you don't have to tell me. Now she's telling me how I'm supposed to think after reading her review. Now she's getting too bossy. So that's probably how Karen was acting towards the lady at the front desk as well.
But I think she's a little pissed off.
I don't remember this person. What's her name?
I don't remember.
Richelli?
Richelli.
Yeah, Rochelle.
The cops were hanging around back by our door for a little while also, so I guess maybe that just tells you what kind of place this is anyways. No, tell us.
Maybe they were staying there. We had cops from Asheville staying at our hotel in Wilkes County.
And they were just smoking on the hood of their cars.
They were sketchy.
Yeah.
There was one guy who was there for work.
Drinking beers in his truck.
He kept calling his wife going, yeah, honey, I'm working hard, just sitting here drinking beer in my car.
Beer in the car, baby. That's what he did all day.
He never rolled the windows up at all.
No.
All week.
Nope. Well, the power didn't come back on for about 3.5 hours last night, so we sat here in the dark. Why didn't you go to the truck like you said?
I thought he said at 6:30 things were turning around. The night was still young. The TV had already came back on.
We were already paying for the room, and I guess we wanted to get what we could out of our money. Breakfast was a joke. I did eat part of a waffle and have orange juice. My husband had a bowl of cereal with a banana cut up in it. Someone knocked on the door at about 8:30.
This was in their room?
Yeah.
This wasn't even continental breakfast. This is just what they brought from home to eat?
I think to see if we had left yet. We won't be back to this hotel. I'm not even sure if that's what you call it at this point. So bad was hard. The pillows were thin, but you get 2 of them. Check out the wonderful photos below. And they were disgusting.
Oh,
they were
man.
nasty. And this is your favorite chain. We saw these cruising throughout Charlotte, Mooresville, Welcome, going back to Wilkesboro. The Super 7. It's a chain. Can you believe it?
No,
we didn't think it was a chain.
I just thought it was BS. Like,
We thought it was a crappy hotel in Charlotte.
One under the 8 and one above the 6.
Super 7 Motel in Columbia, Missouri.
What idiots.
Charles Parrish, 1 out of 5 on Google. And then he falls into the trap.
Right away.
If I could rate it a 0, I would.
But you can't, you idiot. So you don't even have to tell us that because we already know you can't rate it.
We all know.
Because that 0's not even a friggin' option. Like,
Be honest, as we've
1, 2, 3,
learned,
4, 5.
4-0 below blows.
Yeah.
Just
1,
blows.
2, 3 sucks.
Yeah. 4.0. You got to go for the 4.0.
Or more.
Yeah. Anything below that's a C until you get to 3.0, and now you're in the. There's no D. It's F after 3.0. But he said after he had rated a 0, their management was absolutely horrible. I tried to call to book a room, and he literally hung up on me because he thought I was a prank caller and ignored the rest of my calls until he picked up and said he was calling to the police. I'm calling to the police, Brad. Calling to them. That sounds like you're yelling at them in the parking lot.
Police!
Hey, policeman!
Police!
This dude's prank calling me. All I wanted was to give him business.
That's it.
Such a joke. I hope this business takes him under because the way he treated me tonight was absolutely ridiculously. Absolutely ridiculously. He's ridiculously.
It's absolute.
Hotel business is a customer service field. And some people go places for vacation.
No way.
This hotel would be the most vital part, which he was, and he ruined.
I don't think people are vacationing in Columbia, Missouri, but heck, what do I know?
Maybe that's where the next Shady Springs 2 is.
Maybe it is. Maybe there's a Shat Springs there, or Hillbilly Hideaway.
But wait, there's more. If you go south to Joplin, because that was the east,
That's where them tornadoes get to.
there's another Super 7. This is when I went to their website and realized
There's a chain.
they are a chain worse than Wyndham.
So if you can't get Wyndham status on your hotel,
You join the Super 7 franchise.
you become a 7.
Yeah.
Drop it. We need to drop 1 and go from 8, or you need to add 1 and go from 6 to 7. But
And this was rated by Kiro Holtz. Holtz. That's a car rental place.
Holtz.
Kiro Holtz. His daddy was a coach at Notre Dame. And he says, do not stay here. This place has bed bugs, all in caps. And then he goes, dirty, stained towels, hair all over the sheets, burns, and the blankets dirty. No spaces there. Disgusting. The manager has made it very clear that he has no intentions on giving me a refund for the bed bugs.
None.
He said, call me at 12 after I checked the room out. And now continues to hang up on me every time I call. I turned them into the state health department and the BBB. Speaking with the attorney general's office as well. Save your money and go somewhere else. You're right.
All right.
I will.
Thank you.
But then, Ivan Buddy Settles, same hotel, 1 out of 5. Open door saw roaches showering, and the toilet was filthy. So we
The
know
roaches were taking a shower?
the room was already occupied if the roaches were showering.
Y'all get out of that shower.
Don't walk with bare feet. Was he
No.
telling the roaches not to walk with bare
Put your
feet?
shoes on.
Turn black quick. Does that mean turn back or turn black quick? I don't get it.
Oh, man.
I don't understand turn black quick. Is he racist? Or did he misspell turn back? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he meant turn back, not turn black.
Turn black quick, door lock.
Door lock latch was very loose. Witnessed 5 drug deals.
How does he know?
He's recovering addict. And he was like, I want to go out there. I can't go out there. He called Alan on and go, please, help me. Where's the next meeting? Because I've seen 5 drug deals and I'm jonesing.
5. How do you count them?
No refunds after being there 10 minutes. Never again. Room 113. Does that mean he's going back, just not the 113?
Yep.
Where the roaches shower? Those are clean roaches if they had soap.
Get out of that shower.
You think they had shampoo and conditioner too?
Oh, no. I'm still caught up on the whole turn black thing.
Well, when you were reading the Super 7 in Mooresville, you came up with about the same kind of reviews.
Pretty much.
Then we got Scott Beach.
Scotty.
1 out of 5. All I have to say is when you ask for a room, ask for Cockroach Man. Who is Cockroach Man? Is that one of them weird animals out there, like
Maybe.
not a deer?
Like Sasquatch?
Yeah, or swamp ape. They will literally answer all your questions too. Cockroach Man will? Is that one of the? That is one of them.
So maybe it's like a bug spray company, like a pesticide company in Kansas. I mean, we are in Kansas.
Look at what else he says. If you pass out at the sight of blood. At the side of blood? Oh, does he mean sight?
Yeah.
S-I-D is what he spelled, though.
Yeah, sight. I'm thinking he means sight, though, because side don't make sense. Because I thought it said blood pressure, but it says blood, please. Maybe it's a vampire.
If you pass out at the side of blood, please do not look in the rooms. Oh, if cleanliness is important, run.
I like how he's like, oh, yeah. Oh. Also, if cleanliness is important.
Oh, no, that's a side of blood. Can I have the ribeye with a side of blood?
Oh, you mean you want clean?
Cheese sticks with a side of blood. I don't want ketchup, blood. He's a vampire.
So I said, maybe.
But the roaches are the cleanest roaches we have ever reviewed.
Because they're in the shower.
They shower.
Never have we had roaches taking a shower to start a review.
No.
Hey, them roaches in the shower over yonder.
Why didn't he catch those roaches and go on tour?
At least they're clean roaches.
He could have gone on America's Got Talent.
Maybe.
I don't get this guy.
He'd at least got through Kansas's Got Talent.
Yeah. Shoot.
All right.
Simon LeBond. No, what's his name? Simon. I don't watch it, so I don't know. Simon something. Simon Says.
Simon and Garfunkel.
LeBlanc.
Oh, you're talking about the Do Not Have Talent guy.
He doesn't have any talent other than making talent shows.
What's his name?
Simon
something.
I don't know. He keeps falling off his bike too, like our president. And like I keep saying, I am neither a Republican or a Democrat, so none of you get your panties in a wad because I ain't a part of your party.
You ain't a part of your panty wad party.
I'm in the spend less, smaller government party that doesn't seem to exist anymore. And now I sound angry, don't I?
You're getting real
I sound like an old Republican.
The madder you get, the more country you sound.
The more my grandma and grandpa, my mom comes out.
Hey, man, I'm going to come on over here right now, and I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to drop you, boy.
I'm going to drop you.
Maybe white walk she on you, boy.
I'm going to chunk this rock and hit you in your head.
All right, Kansas is a 1.5-mile trioval racetrack with progressive banking between 17 and 20 degrees. It's an asphalt track. It'll seat 48,000. It's owned by NASCAR. Opened in 2001. The race is going to be on Sunday, September 11th at 3 p.m. on USA and MRN networks.
You know, you saying asphalt brings a memory of when we were at the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
This is going to sound stupid, but my favorite thing was the chunks of pavement
cool,
that you could touch and see for each track.
You know, I wonder, did they get rid of that during COVID? Because I rubbed every one of those tracks.
Did I. I was like, whoa, that'll eat a tire.
Dude, Darlington. So they were talking about how rough Darlington was.
And we know.
Yeah, and after filling it, like, at the Hall of Fame, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty rough going back thinking about it. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm with you. I like the iRacing thing at Darlington.
Yeah, I like the iRacing too. I also like that you could get up on a different angle so you could experience walking on a turn at different tracks. Oh, yeah. Remember the angle kept getting bigger and bigger?
Yeah, so you can
experience little balconies you could go
28 degrees or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. There's a lot of cool things.
So if you're in Charlotte,
yeah, if you can handle the traffic for about an hour and a half to get there from Mooresville to Charlotte,
or wherever you're at, actually go to the Richard Childress Museum too. It's $10, but it's worth every penny. I started crying.
yeah.
I didn't cry. I got tears in my eyes.
They had the tire there that Dale Earnhardt blew from one of the Daytona 500s that he didn't win when one of the tires.
Yeah, on the last lap.
They had the whole tire there. It was pretty cool. It was cool watching my son. He's 15 and I'm 38 and Jamie's older than that.
I'm 97.
But it was cool watching my son nerd out on NASCAR like us. You just don't. It's not something you see a lot of anymore. So it's kind of cool to see the future right there.
And Junior Motorsports, it was cool. They had a little door where they fenced off where you could look in.
You noticed the car in the tent is the one that won the race.
Yeah.
That was Noah Gregson's car.
They were cheating that
tent.
sucker up.
I don't know. You see that stupid mustache he's got going now?
It reminded me of the cowboy with a bear claw.
Him and Tyler Reddick both got the cowboy bear. Maybe that's their disguise, so they can go to North Wilkesboro races on dirt. So
they were selling body parts from Rex. I wanted one, but it wasn't going to fit in my little Prius.
Yeah. All right, fantasy stats for Kansas. Kevin Harvick has 33 starts and 3 wins, 19 top 10s. Denny Hamlin has 28 starts, 3 wins, and 11 top 10s.
Yeah, we use these stats to pick Darlington. It didn't work out for us.
Yeah, I know. Joey Logano's got 26 starts and 3 wins. Truex has 28 starts and 2 wins. Kyle Busch has 29 starts and 2 wins. We raced back here at Kansas in May. Kurt Busch won there.
Was that a good race? I don't remember.
Kurt Busch pretty much dominated.
Oh, yeah, that was his win, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson finished 2nd. Kyle Busch finished 3rd. Denny Hamlin finished 4th. Christopher Bell finished 5th.
You think Cody Ware needs to be checked for a concussion? The way he was bouncing around the wall.
I
don't know. That just popped in my head.
He looked like a drunk Mr. Magoo.
He looked like if
it was
Kurt Busch decided to race.
Honestly, NASCAR needs to be mad at NBC for showing it so many times. Like, just stop, guys. We know he's hitting the wall.
What has changed in the last 2 weeks at NBC? Their coverage has gotten weak.
I didn't think the coverage was that bad. I just think it's the last 2 weeks.
Is it just the rain delays?
It's just the last 2 weeks have been races of attrition, and neither one of us like that. I mean, at Daytona, everybody wrecked. At Darlington, parts were falling off, cars were breaking, catching on fire randomly. It was just random things. I mean, Larson had issues with his motor. So, but looking at the finishing results for May, you pretty much have Joe Gibbs finishing in the top. All his cars finished in the top 6. Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, Stenhouse for the strong running Chevys for 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then Bubba Wallace and a Toyota rounded out 10. So my picks for Kansas this weekend are going to be Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., and Bubba Wallace.
After what you saw the Toyotas at Darlington, you're going full on Yoda?
Full on Yoda.
Whoa.
And that's Bubba in the 45.
Whoa.
Bubba in the 45.
Which will confuse the crap out of me.
This still confuses me.
Whatever. I'm going to go with...
Well, Kyle won here last time. I mean, Kurt won in the 45, so Bubba's going to win. Wouldn't it be cool if the 45 wins both Kansas races with 2 different drivers?
That would be cool, but I'm going with Denny.
Okay.
He was the only Yoda still out on the track, pretty much. I know, Ty Gibbs was up there.
Yeah, he finished 15th.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad.
He quietly finishes very well every week.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. He's just not making the noise he was in Xfinity. He's just sitting there learning.
That'll come next season when it's full time.
Will he become the new Ross Chastain?
Become the new Kyle Busch.
Oh, I think Grandpa will bitch slap him.
I think the old Kyle Busch is gone because the old Kyle Busch has to change his attitude. But go ahead and make your picks.
Well,
go ahead and make your picks.
I'll make my picks, and then we got to pick who we think
all right.
Kyle Busch is going to after this. So I'm going with Denny.
All right.
Then I'm going with Reddick.
All right.
Then after Reddick, I'm going with Chase Elliott.
You sure?
Number 9.
You sure you don't want Chase Brisket?
I don't want Chase Brisket. But there's an asterisk here. There's small print. If he's got plush toys on the side of his car,
You're not picking.
I ain't picking them.
Who are you trading it with?
No, I'll just have 3.
Cody Ware.
I'll just have 3. I ain't picking that.
You get Cody Ware though. It's
okay.
It's just what we give you.
All right. So if he has plush toys on his car, I get Cody
He's
Ware.
driving the pedophile paint scheme. You want Cody Ware?
Yeah, I'm not for that.
All right.
I'm against it. And I also think St. Jude's is better children's hospital. Just going with my brand. Just going with my brand.
Who's your 4th pick though?
My 4th pick is going to be
Eric Johnson.
Nope. We're going to get number, what, we going to be at 18? Brad Keselowski.
I'll just throw it away.
That ain't a throwaway.
Yeah, it is.
He's got to win a race or he's a failure as an owner. He's got pressure.
He's only got one more season left racing anyway.
He's got pressure, though.
Next year, it's going to be his farewell tour. The Keselowski farewell tour.
Okay.
So where do you think Kyle's going? I kind of know where you're going.
I'm going RCR.
And I think it's going to be Colleague. But I
Wow.
think RCR is a good pick. And I don't think you're wrong.
Well, I don't think you're wrong with Colleague either. I think it's going to be one of those
It's going to be one of those two. You say you think it's a 1-year deal, though.
Yeah, I'm saying 1 year.
I think it's...
He's going to take his brother's car at Yoda, the 2024.
No.
Yeah.
I think if he leaves Toyota, he never goes back.
You think he's that kind of guy?
I think he's got a truck team that needs to make a switch along with him.
Well, that's true.
So he's not going to flip-flop front ends every other year.
Well, I ain't going to flip-flop on RCR, but Richard doesn't like giving multi-year deals.
I think he either goes to Richard Childress in the number 3 car, Austin goes to the number 8, or he goes to Colleague Racing in the number 16 car, and not the 16, in the 51. Colleague buys the 50 or gets the 51, buys it however they acquire it from Mr. Magoo and Cody Ware, and brings it over so Kyle can have 51 and put Rowdy on it, and he drives the Rowdy 51 at Colleague. But I think he has ownership in either one.
You think?
I think he does. I think Richard...
Instead of money, they gave him a percentage of the team?
I think it's less likely that he gets ownership.
Of course, he saw
RCR.
Denny do it.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. But I think he gets some kind of ownership. Or maybe he goes to RCR.
I don't see Richard giving up any ownership.
And Richard steps into part owner of Kyle Busch, and he gets a small percentage of RCR.
10% lick.
Maybe it's Kyle Busch Motorsports is more of the truck and Xfinity side, where RCR runs the Cup side, but Kyle Busch is RCR Busch.
That'd work. You think we'll find out this week before Kansas?
You think Richard would change the name of his team from RCR if Kyle came on? It'd be Dick Busch Motorsports.
Dick Busch Racing.
I'm just saying. I mean,
DBR.
You got a really good opportunity here to capitalize on a Dick and a Busch. Put them together racing.
You think Richard goes by Dick? We saw his preservation of his
I
office.
think if you called Richard Dick, he'd probably slap you.
He'd take off his Rolex.
Yeah, he's whooping your
You're not
butt.
going to whoop that boy.
I think if he signs Kyle Busch, a Rolex needs to trade hands at some point on signing day.
That'd be awesome.
I think we find out.
They ought to do a signing the contract on a PR release with him going, and here's my watch from when I busted your face.
Yep, it's a signing bonus. Here's the one I took off. Here's the watch I removed.
Your face.
All right, that's all I got this week.
That's all I got. I guess I better bring a Pepsi next week.
Yeah, please don't
I
forget
got to
that.
drink the whole bottle now that I forgot.
Oh, it's 2 liter now.
Oh, God, man. I can't do it too
We
late.
should just get the straight up Pepsi syrup that
Dude.
they use in the carbonation machine, and you just lick a spoonful of
We
it.
ate such greasy food when we were there in Wilkesboro.
I'm still sick.
I shit more than I inhaled. I mean, I was just boom, and it wasn't no diarrhea. I was logging, dude.
The best coffee we could find came from the Holiday Inn.
I was thinking of starting a timber management company.
All right, on that note, thanks to everyone who follows us, shares our show on social media, and listens each week. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you check us out on Spotify and rate us there. Follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you also just subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcast and leave us a review. And check out our website. It's racecarbackwards.com. Other than that, y'all have a great week, and we'll catch you after Kansas.
Well, I would put in a little commercial here for the new political show we're going to have, but we're going to have fake names so we don't get fired, and we're going to hide it.
And not tell nobody
And it's
about
just
it.
going to grow organically from us going crazy.
We do have some other stuff we're working on, so
Feel like our real jobs.
yeah. So
We're
just,
working on those.
just keep your ears to the ground, and you'll find out we got a new YouTube show coming soon. So you'll enjoy it. Other than that, y'all have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to a race car spelled backwards.